Welcome to the debate. Today, we're diving into a classic central London real estate dilemma. It's a choice between maximizing, let's say, scalability and regional connectivity on one hand, versus optimizing for immediate cost efficiency and the internal work environment on the other.
Exactly. We're looking at two serviced office opportunities from our source material. You've got Grosvenor Gardens in Victoria, which comes at a premium, and then you have 180 offices in Piccadilly, St. James's, which, on paper, has a lower rate.
So the core question is this: do the strategic advantages of the Victoria location, I'm talking superior transport links, flexible size options, do they justify the higher cost and, frankly, the high traffic environment? Or does the focused, amenity-rich, and quieter setting of St. James's offer a better foundation? I'm going to argue that the long-term flexibility of Victoria makes it the superior strategic choice.
And I'll be arguing the opposite. I believe the St. James's location provides a sophisticated, efficient, and a highly functional base. We shouldn't pay a premium just for the potential of future growth if that premium sacrifices immediate cost control and the very real quality of life benefits that 18 Piccadilly offers. The value proposition there is just significantly stronger for a business that prioritizes its internal health.
My core position is really rooted in mitigating future risk. The Victoria office, at its £550 price point, is an investment in minimizing what can be, the crippling cost of a mandatory relocation down the line. Victoria is described as a bustling hub, and it's seen major redevelopment recently, which, to me, signals strong market stability. And my argument really rests on two things: scale and reach. First, you've got the structural flexibility. Yes, it's an elegant property with a classical stone facade, but internally, it's set up to provide serviced office suites in all sizes. That means both cellular and open plan formats. So a company can grow from, say, 3 people to 30 without ever leaving the building. Second, connectivity. The location is just around the corner from the area's train, underground, and bus interchange. That kind of deep integration is, I think, non-negotiable for client accessibility.
Okay, but I come at this from a completely different angle, which is optimizing present-day operations. The St. James's office, at £500 a month, offers superior, highly targeted value. That immediate £50 difference per desk, that adds up. It's over £600 a year per employee that a growing business can put directly into software or marketing or, better salaries.
Sure.
But more importantly, the value is in its tailored functionality. 180 Piccadilly has amenities that are explicitly designed for high-performing teams, like shower facilities and a self-service kitchen. And the environment itself supports focus. It's described as a tranquil central London office base on a quiet side street just steps away from the main road. This design, I think, counters the high-traffic, potentially overwhelming atmosphere of Victoria. And look, it doesn't really compromise on connectivity. It's still only a 2 to 3 minute walk from both Piccadilly and Green Park stations.
Right.
So let's just dive right into that cost versus scalability issue. That £500 price point is, I think, vital for a developing firm. The material explicitly says the suites predominantly suit smaller businesses of up to 10 people. Now, far from being a limitation, I'd argue that's a feature. This focus allows the provider to offer tailored support and, better amenities for a concentrated workforce without pricing in the overhead you need to serve huge corporations. Overhead a small team would never even use. Why pay for that?
I would challenge that assumption about expansion, though. Limiting capacity to 10 people, it fundamentally restricts your growth pathways. It introduces a predictable, high-cost point of failure in the future. Success forces you to scale. And while £500 is initially appealing, we have to talk about the total cost of ownership. The Victoria office, while, yes, marginally more expensive month to month, is basically insurance against a catastrophic disruption. When you hit that 10% ceiling in St. James's, you face a huge, non-recoverable expense, relocation costs. And that's not just the move itself, it's rent, legal fees, administrative downtime. It's a massive distraction.
Okay, I see that.
The source material says Victoria provides suites in all sizes and both cellular and open plan formats. This flexibility means you're not paying for tenant improvements or dealing with new leases every 18 months. That extra 50 pounds isn't an expense. It's a premium you pay for flexibility and really for future-proofing your business.
But your risk assessment there is flawed if you assume all successful businesses need that kind of vertical scaling right away. Many focused firms, boutique finance, specialized tech, they intentionally cap their London footprint to stay agile. For them, that £600 annual saving per desk can go into core expertise or staff benefits, which offers a much better ROI than mitigating a relocation they've strategically chosen to avoid in the first place.
That brings us to defining what prime even means. I'd contend that the environment Victoria offers directly enhances your external perception, which is critical for getting investment or serious partnerships. The location overlooks these ornate gardens, it's near Buckingham Palace, the high-end retail of Belgravia. This environment, it transfers brand equity. For a business seeking funding or pitching to established clients, that classical stone facade projects an image of stability and sophistication that, a quiet side street just can't match. Status is a strategic asset.
I'm sorry, but I just don't buy that status derived from a stone facade is the deciding factor in modern business. I mean, that's a mischaracterization of value. Our audience understands that functional utility trumps architectural display. St. James's is equally prime. It's a short walk from Mayfair. You're networking with high-value businesses, wealth management, hedge funds, not just looking at a pretty garden. And let's go back to that tranquil base idea. Employee wellness is like a non-negotiable now for retention. Operating from a quiet setting with direct access to Green Park for lunch is a tangible benefit. It reduces the stress you get from being in the middle of a high-traffic regional interchange. The Victoria bustling hub vibe. Yeah, it might signal vibrancy, but it also signals friction, noise, and overhead, which actively works against deep-focused work.
Okay, if we pivot to connectivity, I believe Victoria holds an irrefutable advantage because of the sheer breadth of its transport offering. While St. James's has great hyper-local access to two tube lines, and I'll grant you that's an advantage for cross-city commuting, it just lacks regional dominance. Victoria is rightly called a bustling hub with great connectivity because it is a massive multimodal interchange. You've got mainline rail, the underground, and bus services all in one place. That is macro connectivity. If a client is arriving from Manchester or from Gatwick Airport, their journey ends literally steps from your door. It positions the office as a true central economic node.
That's a compelling point for regional travel, I'll admit, but it really minimizes the importance of cross-city mobility for the staff who are there 5 days a week. We have to optimize for the 95% use case, which is the daily commute. St. James's, with two major stations so close, Piccadilly Circus and Green Park, lets employees use two different strategic underground lines. That dual access provides resilience against transport disruption, it minimizes commuter friction.
I see your point.
The journey from the front door to the tube platform is crucial. Optimizing those last 100 yards is often more valuable for daily morale than having a mainline station around the corner that only caters to, periodic visitors.
And we also have to consider internal operational support. The Victoria office emphasizes a robust, high-touch administrative offering. The source highlights a friendly reception team will help out with administrative duties and greet your visitors. This infrastructure ensures your highly paid core staff, the people generating revenue, aren't bogged down by basic admin. That's what the skilled setup gives you. You're paying £50 extra for a deep administrative buffer that maintains focus.
That high-touch service, though, suggests a more traditional, higher overhead model. St. James's, on the other hand, is tailored for operational self-sufficiency. And I go back to the shower facilities and the self-service kitchen. These amenities are highly functional for productivity. Showers encourage cycling to work or a lunchtime run, which improves focus. And the kitchen reduces the time and money spent on external lunches.
Right.
For a nimble, small team, these practical daily amenities are just immediately valuable. You don't need a huge administrative buffer if the team is self-sufficient. And the focus on internal facilities is high-spec. The meeting rooms have the latest presentation technology. So the firm projects professionalism during key meetings without needing a vast support team. It's effectiveness through design, not headcount.
That difference really does highlight the strategic conflict here, doesn't it? Victoria invests in robust external presentation, regional connectivity, and operational scaling to minimize future friction. If a business needs that flexibility for rapid expansion, needs the prestige, and needs to be accessible to regional clients, then Grosvenor Gardens, even at $550 a month, is really the only choice that future-proofs the investment. The marginal cost is justified by mitigating that long-term risk.
And the St. James's location is a calculated decision to maximize current-day profitability and internal team efficacy. For a specialized firm that values deep focus, that critical £50 monthly saving is maintained, and you don't sacrifice a prestige location or proximity to Mayfair. You gain superior internal amenities, dual underground access for resilience, and the benefit of a tranquil base that supports employee wellness. St. James allows a small team to optimize its budget and its work environment, which I think is a superior foundation for focused, sustainable growth.
This discussion really just reinforces that the optimal choice is entirely dependent on the strategic calculus of the user.
Precisely. It comes down to weighing the total cost of ownership, including that risk of a mandatory relocation, against immediate financial savings and the tangible benefits of a tailored environment. You have to decide if macro connectivity or micro efficiency is your ultimate strategic driver. That's what dictates the better solution.